The story of Ejoku Elias is a story of a young man who answered the call of his generation for leadership, but whose life was tragically cut short in unclear circumstances. As he lays here at his family home, there are more questions than answers, as his family seeks closure that remains elusive, despite the capture of his would-be killers. First reported missing on 15th May 2022 on the social media platform Facebook, the body of the 34-year-old Elias Ejoku was discovered later that day by his sister Barbara Anyu.
Quite well, like the back of my hand. I notice him and I see him at a distance, and he used to have a lot of hair on his head. I knew the shape of his head, his forehead. So they'd lay him on a trolley. There's a trolley which is like a metallic bed. So they roll him. He was already in the middle there. The man was rolling him as we were walking in with my auntie, and I could just see him at a distance. And I remember just screaming out. And I'm thinking, okay, this is him, because I could see from afar that it is him. Even if my brother was standing, I don't know how far, I could tell that that's my brother.
Prior to his death, he was amongst the candidates who had thrown a hat in the crowded ring for the Soroti City mayoral race.
We didn't know anything about campaigns, how they ran. That was the experience in a hard way. All of us, actually, if I may say, there were few of us who knew about politics. So we settled, we had that meeting at Nokti, whereby Elias was given the mantle to lead the team.
Three suspects, namely Abdul Wanjala Wahib, Hussein Chibidango, and Asuman Sali, were recently charged at the Chief Magistrate's Court of Nakawa with the offenses of murder and aggravated robbery related to his death. Following his arrest, Chibidango confessed.
Vendetta hit that man. I took his phone. We were on a motorbike which John was riding. It was about 9.
Chibidango and Sali were later remanded at Luzira prison. According to his death certificate, signed by Dr. Alan Paul Batesachi, the cause of Ejoku's death was as a result of a head injury caused by blunt force trauma. It is also not clear when he died, as his sister argues that answering this question is key to solving the enduring mystery of Ejoku's death.
How does it wind up in the morgue of Mulago, attended to, but there is no file whatsoever of a report to was he treated? Was there any sort of treatment given to him? How does he, if he died outside, we would have understood that. But how does my brother, someone's son, end up at the morgue of Mulago? Patients that go into that morgue are people who have been hospitalized. How does he end up there with no file?
At the time of reporting, efforts to access these medical records have proved fruitless. When the three suspects in the case appeared in court for mention, they claimed to be juveniles. Subsequently, an order was issued to have Chibidango and Sali examined to verify their claims. Sali Asman was found to be below the age of 18 years, according to test results dated 14th December 2022, conducted by Dr. A.S. Chiwanuka, a radiologist from the Radiology Department of Mulago Referral Hospital. However, Juliana Muge, Ejoku's mother, has reason to doubt these findings.
The results which were in police didn't show these people, these suspects were not juveniles, apart from one, that one, sit A1. Now comes, now you are taking these other results with this re-examination to be the truth and not from police.
The offense of murder, which the suspects are charged with, is punishable by the maximum penalty of death as provided for under Section 189 of the Penal Code Act. However, according to Section 104A1 of the Children's Act, a death sentence is not to be pronounced on or recorded against a person convicted of an offense punishable by death, if it appears to the court that at the time when the offense was committed, the convicted person was below the age of 18 years. Alternatively, Section 94(1)G of the Children's Act states that in such instances, the maximum period of detention is to be 3 years. This therefore incentivizes suspects in such cases to falsify their ages. In her 19th January 2023 petition to the Director of Public Prosecutions, Jane Frances Abodo, the deceased's mother states that, "My Lord, we have received information from the probation officer of Naguru Remand Home that all 3 of the accused have in the past been in her custody several times. From her records, all the 3 accused persons are above 18 years. In her letter, Amuge Julian goes on to say, in the course of investigations, they were medically examined before a certified police surgeon and found to be above 18 years of age, save for Wanjala Abdul Wahib. Emotions ran high at the barrio of Ejoku on 18th May 2022, attended by NUP Party President Robert Chagulanyi, another victim of the high-octane campaigns that continue to plague politics in Uganda.
It is hard to find words to speak at the funeral of a young brother of just 34 years, who has not just died, but was killed.
There was an outpouring of sorrow and eulogies praising the deceased.
That nobody is safe. That injustice to one is injustice to all of us.
His identity as a precocious and popular talent notwithstanding, there was more to Ejoku, as his mother reveals.
He was a very loving boy and very hardworking. He never wanted to see you struggling. He would come, why are you struggling? Why are you struggling? And he would come and help you.
Anyu, Elias' sister, shares some happy memories of her older brother.
He struggled for a long time to just find a job for himself. That the job in Chambugo was one of those first moments when he was now starting to settle down. He had just secured his first stable job. But Elias was a person that was so grieved by the fact that the youth are disgruntled and they are jobless. So if you find even on his pages, on his platform, it will be always about the youth. That is why he went on and joined even politics.
Tom Ewoku, a local politician in Soroti, recalls Ejoku's exploits on the campaign trail.
Elias was not there, but everybody around nominated Elias in his absentia. They said the only person who can unify the two factions would be Elias, because he talks to this side very well, no issue. He talks to the other side very well without what? Any issue. So we realized that he was the only unifying what? Person. So Elias was given to lead the team of Soroti,
where they both unsuccessfully ran for elected office on the NUP party ticket. For Ejoku's family, they fear that justice remains elusive, though they remain hopeful that sharing their story will draw attention to the loopholes in the criminal justice system that allow suspects to get away with capital offenses such as murder.